welcome to our conversation today. I'm Bill Anderson, and our topic today is going to be around education and supporting our teachers. We have a very distinguished panel with us today. We have the Dean from the College of Education, Mary Lynne Calhoun.
Hi,
welcome.
Bill. Thank
Good
you.
to have you here. We have Beth Salyers, who's part of a new teacher mentor program that she's going to talk about. And we have Amanda Macon, who is also the director of this program. We're just going to jump right in, but teachers today are often expected to solve so many of the problems of society, and the challenges they face are just tremendous. UNC Charlotte has put together a fantastic program that's aligned with the Race to the Top. North Carolina was a winner for Race to the Top, and we're very excited about some of the things that UNC Charlotte is putting together to support our new teachers. Mary Lynne, could you talk a little bit about some of these new programs that are happening right now?
Indeed, I'm so pleased to be able to do this, Bill. I think if I were able to make one great big policy change in the world of education, it would be to create a stronger system of support for teachers in their first 3 years of service. We understand, as you know so deeply, that the work of teachers has become increasingly complex, increasingly challenging, with great opportunities and also great pressures. We also know that in the first 3 years of professional work, teachers feel more vulnerability,
Yes.
need more support, and in fact, teacher attrition is pretty high.
It is.
In those first 3 years. Some studies a few years ago suggested as many as 40% of new teachers
Yes.
leave in the first 3 years, and as many as 50%
Yes.
of new teachers in the first 5 years. So talented, dedicated people who want to do the work well
Yes.
sometimes face challenges that they don't know how to surmount. And there's a tremendous need for support in those first 3 years. At UNC Charlotte, we've taken this responsibility very seriously. We don't think our work is done when a newly licensed teacher walks across the stage and receives the diploma from UNC Charlotte. We want to keep being part of their lives and part of their support so that they can fulfill the promise of very talented new beginning teachers. We have been fortunate at UNC Charlotte in this past year to receive external support that allows us to be very systematic about this work and to offer the highest quality support for new teachers. We've received funding from the Z. Smith Reynolds Foundation for a project called First 3, and we've received funding through the UNC General Administration as part of North Carolina's Race to the Top initiative to support beginning teachers in schools of the highest need. So I'd love for my colleagues to tell us a little bit about those projects. Let me turn first to Amanda Macon, who directs our Z. Smith Reynolds project, First 3.
Thanks, Mary Lynne. This First 3 project has been kind of near and dear to my heart. I've been a first-year teacher, and I know how difficult that is. And what we provide is a third space, a place where these new teachers in low-performing schools in our area can come to campus, or we sometimes meet them off campus as a group. They have the ability to network. We offer some professional development opportunities. And with some of the funding from Z. Smith Reynolds, we've always also increased technology in their classroom.
Yeah, this is the second year of that project, is that right?
This is. The first year was our pilot year. We worked strictly with alumni of our university that worked in low-performing schools in our area. We had about 12 to 14 that came and went within that year. With the Z. Smith Reynolds funding, we opened the program up to all teachers in low-performing schools in our area, and we have 28 teachers that are currently in their first year, and we still have the 12 that are now in their second year.
And you really are imagining continuing this level of both personal and professional support through their third year of practice.
Absolutely, and in the third year we'll look at some of the professional development, how to grow as a teacher leader. We'll work with them to become mentors to the first and second year teachers that are also in the program to kind of give them that push of support. This can be done. You really can make it through those years, and to show them the success that these teachers are having in their third year.
Amanda, I really want to follow up on your reflection that you were once a first-year teacher. You were a graduate of UNC Charlotte, a superstar graduate, and ready to take on important work in middle grades, science and math education. what were the big surprises for you in the first year?
I think some of the big surprises in your first couple years of teaching are one is the amount of time that you put into your classroom, the depth of relationship that you create with those students. They really are your kids. They may not technically go home with you, right. but they go home with you in your heart. Right. And you really do think about what they need, the support that you can provide in the classroom. And the other piece is the professional relationships that you create with other teachers. And I think that's one of the things that this program really does, is helps to show these teachers how to create those relationships. And again, gives them an external place where they can create even a bigger network of support.
Great. And our second important initiative, Bill, in providing great support for beginning teachers, is a statewide project in North Carolina that, as you've noted, is supported by the Race to the Top initiative. And Beth Salyers, who's a recent graduate of our PhD in Curriculum and Instruction with an emphasis in urban education, has joined our team as a teacher support coach. Beth, tell us about your project and your work.
I'm very lucky, along with my colleague Adam Myers. We have been hired to basically go into teachers' classrooms, talk to them in classroom, outside the classroom, and ask them what they need. When you're a teacher, you hopefully strive for a student-centered curriculum. And so Adam and I are both former teachers, and we wanted how we use this program to be teacher-centered. So we have a list of the bottom 5% performing schools in North Carolina and the ones that fell into the Charlotte-Mech area. And basically, we have 11 teachers we're supporting right now, and each teacher is supported in a different and unique way based upon that teacher's needs at that time.
As a former principal, I know that your first-year teachers really deserve and need extra care. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we don't always give that to them. And I think our first-year teachers sometimes don't know what questions to ask, and they're sometimes intimidated to ask those questions. What do you all do to reach out to these teachers and help them to get that comfort level to seek the assistance they need?
Well, the first thing we do is we go and meet them, and we want to build that rapport. Right. We want when we are working with them, for that to be a trusted space, right. Kind of like a teacher-coach confidentiality thing going on. And so we get to some really difficult and important conversations quite quickly by doing that. And at that point, it's sharing our own histories, because we've all had those difficult times in a classroom. We've all had difficulties in negotiating the bureaucracy of school systems, talking with parents, even licensure, all these different things that come up, especially during your first year of teaching. And so first we create that relationship. And after that, we figure out what that teacher needs here and now for some short-term goals, and then also long-term, because Adam and I like to think that we work for the profession, and we want these teachers to love their profession and be continually giving to it, just as it can give back to them. And so we do anything from meet with our teachers on weekends to plan, help them grade. We put up things in their room if they physically just need an extra set of hands. We model small group teaching, centers. Sometimes we're just in there to observe and kind of another pair of eyes in there to, what did they not possibly see? And also to give them positive feedback, because I think that's another thing that our first-year teachers either don't receive or they don't perceive. Even because we all know that when we're working passionately at something, we always are harder on ourselves than others. And so we really try to build our teachers up and let them know that they are doing a good job, and that they are gaining the respect and the trust of their students, and that they're really moving the students towards those goals.
I'm afraid that as a society, we may not value the profession of teaching near enough. What advice might you all have for the viewers today to help them understand just how important it is to value this profession?
Well, I think when you think about teachers, everyone's had a teacher. Every doctor, every lawyer, every famous basketball player has had a teacher, and most of those professionals have had a teacher who made a big impact in their life. And I think focusing on those large positive impacts is really important, because I think sometimes we focus, unfortunately, on the negative aspects that are picked up in the media. Yes. Rarely do you see media pick up on great positive things that are happening in classrooms, but we have been in some wonderful classrooms and seen great interactions between teachers and students, and sometimes that is the one positive adult that child has in their life. And we have to respect that. We have to build them up, because if we continually tear them down, they're going to leave the profession.
I'm thinking about not only what we have all experienced with the good teachers that we've had in our lives, and how that has promoted our own sense of who we are and what we can do and what opportunities are for us, but for those of us who are parents, the experience of seeing our child given those opportunities by well-prepared and caring and competent teachers, that power is something we just can't forget. I'm remembering my very, very long ago days as a beginning teacher, and remembering the loneliness that the door closed. Nobody knew what was going on in my classroom. I knew it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but I was also a little shy about letting others know that it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. And that combination of loneliness and wondering where it was safe to share my concerns and share my worries makes me feel so proud of these projects that reduce loneliness, increase efficacy, and increase a sense of respect for self as a professional.
Well, the fact that UNC Charlotte recognizes what some of these trends are nationally about teacher retention, to me speaks very highly of you. But we don't just talk about that, but we're actually doing something about it, because we know that hiring a great teacher is very important, but then retaining a great teacher is also incredibly important. So the fact that UNC Charlotte is taking a lead with these two programs is quite commendable, and you all should be very pleased about that.
Thank you, Bill.
So we want to thank you for being with us today, and we'll talk to you soon.